How to build seven-figure AI dropshipping brands, full guide in 2025 and beyond. So you can see here that I've just got this doc. You can use this doc as you see fit. This is one of my brands, and you can see that that's how much it sort of hit there. This is a really annoying screenshot, if I'm to be honest. I should probably get the full screenshot here, so we can see it closer up. And you can see like running a number of campaigns. I wish I could say what the exact ROAS and that is, but you can see that due to a variety of things, but you can see here that done phenomenal results. Some campaigns good, some campaigns bad. This is many, many years old, this brand, so you can see that collectively, this isn't reflective of the two different screenshots as well, but you can see that, like if we have a look at this one, that's still active, 5 ROAS, for that much. And that's a remarketing campaign, and that's just on autopilot. That's a DPA ad. So let's talk a bit about this now. As I said, this is just in the description, use it as you see fit. So firstly, I've now been through this enough. I do deep research, right, on competitors. Always said, ideally what you really want to do is something around passion. If you're passionate about something in e-commerce, you will naturally have done deep research, okay? If you haven't, and sort of like this video, then you need to do deep research and understand the psychology. You need to understand the customer. You're a marketer, right? As marketers, we need to understand who the customer is, what they want, what they desire, what their problems are. And you can't just look at these single couple of tools and be like, yep, fantastic, I'm just going to market that. We see all these products on finding winning products and that, and I have videos on that, but I always show the deep research. Understanding the customer is what makes the difference between a brand that's a business that's going to succeed and a business that's going to fail. Most of them fail because all you do is just look at a product. Oh, yeah, that sort of looks good. Yep, let's make it creative as fast as I can. Pull creatives from TikTok and put it all together, and boom, boom, boom. And la 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 la. But you're not actually building anything sustainable, and that's why so many just keep building stores. Now, there is a big benefit to that. You learn a lot, but this way you can build a lot of stores that all are sustainable and keep building more, and you build more wealth from each of these. So deep research on competitors, finding them, understanding their marketing to determine their strategy. Use plenty of free tools we all know out there. There's the Facebook ad library. I use Hello Data. I've started using that. That helps me look at things like TikTok Shop, because if things are doing really well on TikTok Shop, I guarantee I can run it via Facebook, Google Ads, and influencer marketing, and obviously TikTok Shop as well for my brand, and it will do really, really well, right? So I've been starting to do that. Works extremely, extremely well because I focus on fewer products that I know have the right demographics that I can scale and I can invest in. Now, fortunately, I've got a team that will help me with a lot of this now. And once I find the product I like, as I said, I look into with my team, deep diving into the age, gender, location, basic things, looking at landing pages, and then their creatives, their pain points. So the Facebook ad library, I look at their pain points that they have on their page, and I'll use ChatGPT and make a custom GPT that aligns to my brand. And then I'll sort of use that as the sort of baseline to help me with the copy. I look at their socials, all of them. It doesn't take long. Just go to their website, look at their TikTok, look at their Instagram, those are the main ones, especially Instagram, TikTok. Look at that. Some have YouTube channels, but YouTube is not something you really want to focus on. And again, do a deep dive. Look at the comments, right? Look at Google Trends, and you get an idea. And what I do is I just start documenting it. For me, I use a tool called ClickUp, just a project management tool, and I just document everything of my findings there. And it's an absolute mess. And then I use ChatGPT to clean it up after the fact. I'm building this with a new brand that I've just started yesterday that's in the women's space as well, in addition to also my activewear brand that I'm also building there too, and also pajama brand. So, and I'll be revealing more once I have more data, and that's still very early days, and that's why it takes a bit longer. It's important to know that any industry works, right? The more saturated, the more validated, right? Everyone's like in the dropshipping space, so it's like the more saturated, the worse it is. Yes, choose away your margins, but there's a simple fix for that. That really what you want to do is dropshippers are only focused on just marketing cheap Chinese products. They don't brand it, they don't spend the time. Whereas if you spend the time and do deep research and your creatives work, because it's really all just the creatives and the images, and that really is what sort of gets it working, then it'll just fall into place. So what I do is I look at reviews. Obviously, the obvious one is I look at their reviews on their website. I look at their reviews on their Facebook. I look at their reviews on their Google My Business if they have it as well. I look at those three areas, or a lot of them also use Trustpilot, and I just sort of, it's pretty easy that you can filter all the good reviews. Fantastic. You look at that and you collate what makes the product great, and then you look at all the negative ones. So look at the 1-star reviews. You'll usually find with 5-star reviews, you'll get really good feedback anyway. And you can also then get creative ideas too, because a lot of them upload images and videos. But then also, if you look at their negative reviews, you get all the problems. And if you can understand all those problems, then you can include that in your creatives. You're really understanding the deep part of what people don't like. Is it slow shipping? Is it that it doesn't fit? Is it that the customer service was crap? And again, you just jot it down and you'll find that there's common areas. And if you can focus on that, there's always opportunity, right? And then from there, I build copy. So I get the negative points and the positive points. I turn the negative into positives about, hey, don't go like this. If you go like this, fantastic, it solves the problem. And people are, oh, fantastic, that's what I was looking for. Okay, so you do copy. And again, using ChatGPT, you just make like a custom GPT, put in a bit about your branding, or you can use ChatGPT as it is, and away you go. You can even use for your deep research. You can use tools like Perplexity and that can do the deep research. All of them can, honestly, and understand a lot about the customer. Okay, I just personally just do GPT, but they're pretty much much of a muchness. I then use CapCut for video editing, like what I'm sort of using for this recording. It also has AI models. Now, in a previous video, I used SellerPic, but I found out that CapCut has AI models, and it has AI models not just for people, but also animals. So it's really, really cool because I want to build a pet brand in the future as well around dog beds. That's one thing, like I've put it in a product research video, and I'm still very passionate about. That's where I'll be going down that path as well. Highly scalable product. I get a domain from Pork Bun. I mean, there's GoDaddy, there's Pork Bun, there's so many, right? The names are weird, right? But they're very, very cheap domains. And we've got very good DNS support as well. So that's just sort of my thing. But anyway, there's plenty out there. And then you use your, I said Google domains. I mean Google admin. So you just use Google admin. You can even use the same Google admin and add more domains and then add separate emails, so you don't have all these different admin accounts as well. So it's really, really handy. I do that for my SaaS brands, and I'm going to do it for this as well. So that way, it's all sort of amalgamated. But if you also intend to sell, you will might want to segment it. But by doing it my way, you actually save a bit of time and money as well. But much of a muchness. Won't get into that too much today. I use Shopify Inbox for incoming live chat. Okay, over time I'll migrate to my own live chat as I build that, but that's not until next year. A key point is that I like to add is the average pricing. So when you do the research as well and you look at their products, you sort of get average pricing. Now a lot of my team sort of do that, and I actually go sort of a premium price, right? I don't go 50% off. I don't add 50% off on my page or whatever. People want a premium experience, right? People want a discount when they're an existing customer and you've got a new product in. Okay, it's a lot longer of a strategy, but it's guaranteed it works. That's how I'm able to get the results that I am. And I find that, again, the opposite, go more premium feel means you have to spend more time with the images. There's plenty of channels you can watch about how to make really quality images. I watch a number of them myself. I don't do a lot of it myself now anyway, but is that, make nice images, make nice creatives that really stand out, make it feel premium, clean, professional, fresh. And people are like, yeah, boom, they buy. And again, don't mislead customers, right? One of the big things I will say that I see with a lot of dropshippers is it's all about misleading. If you can be transparent, I know in the beginning you won't be 100%, but obviously work towards that. I guarantee it pays off 10 times more. Anyway, and so then I can spend more on my ads, right? Like with my pajama one that I plan to build into a new brand, the sizing was off, and I'm going to get more samples and everything. The quality was fantastic, and the price, you look on their competitor websites, one of them is like called Cozy Earth, and they're selling for like $250. So I could sell it for $200 cost per purchase, which is pretty damn high, right? I'm glad I stopped that because the product quality wasn't to the standard that is needed. But my point is that I plan to come back to that. That was great research. So you get my point there. Doing a premium feel actually works well, and as long as you take your time with it and don't expect $10 cost per purchases, then it'll work well. So again, spend time to do the deep research. I use Facebook and Instagram profile just to start with. Threads, don't even worry about that. Who really cares about Threads? To start with TikTok, and then you want to use TikTok Shop, you want to use TikTok, of course, and Pinterest long term. But most ecom brands, when you do your research and you do deep research, like you'll find that they'll have the majority of their following on Instagram and have a small following on TikTok. This just sort of seems how it is. TikTok works really well if you're using TikTok Shop and you have a heap of content creator affiliate partners. But in terms of building your own brand, it just doesn't really work. Instagram is always where it gravitates to. I think that's partly because of the ads and stuff as well. I plan to do more TikTok ads, go down this path as I build it out and get media buyers and that and build out my team that. But for now, I just focus on Facebook, Instagram, and Google. At the same time, building out a micro influencer, 2 to 30,000 sort of on Instagram to start off with, and I'm going to send them free product, or you just pay them, whatever that looks like. You can use them for partnership ads, use their UGC in your ads to manually upload as well. And obviously it converts really well with the Shopify dashboard as well. Now you can use UTM tracking. So there's like utm.io, but in Shopify under their marketing, you can actually make trackable links as well, all integrated, which is really, really handy. There's plenty of tools out there as well that do this, but you can just start off with that. It's free, and it's really, really quite handy, honestly. As you get your email list as well, make sure you're capturing an email list with a newsletter. Immediately work on your email marketing. Abandoned cart recovery you should set up, so you can use tools like Omnisend or Predictemail for that. Welcome flows, regular campaigns, and set that up, and it will work really, really well for you, right? You generate easy revenue. With the paid ads, I use Facebook ads for both image and video with different promotions running. So, you know, like for different products, basically is my sort of point. I still, if I'm marketing a single product, I'll make it a separate campaigns. It's just my preference. There's no right or wrong way, but I get really confused in Facebook, and I think a lot of people do too, because there's just so much going on at times. So I really try and just keep it very simple like that. If I'm running carousel, I'll make it a separate campaign, you know, so on and so forth. Just make campaigns. It takes like 5 seconds. You do dynamic remarketing ads work really well because I focus on at least 10 to 20 SKUs, works extremely well. If you've got one SKU, dynamic product ads don't really work that well for you. Remember, SKU is an individual. If you've got one product with 7 variants, those are 7 SKUs, right? So just remember that still works quite well. If you just got one product with only one variant, that's it's not going to work that well. Use Advantage Plus campaigns, no targeting, literally let it do all the targeting, right? In the beginning, you might do some targeting, but otherwise just let it do the work. I use Google Ads brand search, PMAX campaigns, and basically just, as I've said in many videos, I just make a brand search, spend 2 minutes doing that, and I make a PMAX campaign. Again, I find some keywords that are relevant, and I start letting it run. Let it run for 30 days. And then over time, I'll test with different audiences. As you get different audiences, you want to do remarketing audiences, of course, as well. Obviously, I'm using Shopify, but I want to make sure to add that in. You can use tools like Teamdrop for dropshipping items. It's free platform, way to go. But I always recommend moving straight to a 3PL. Works really, really well too, right? So make sure that your focus is 3PL, but start with dropshipping one to save money just in the beginning, because then you can build out the brand. But what I'm saying here is that instead of this approach of just testing any product, you test products that work extremely well, do a deep amount of research, and if you can take 0.1% of that pie, there's a lot of money in that pie, right? I look at it, if you haven't heard of there's a guy on YouTube, I've forgotten his name, you know, that's competing with Apple and Android phones, or Samsung, I should say, and it's called Nothing, I think it is, and you know, he just talks crap about those phones, and now he's got $200 million in funding to help grow his phone brand, and you know, everyone would assume, oh, there's no way with that. There's all these other existing phone brands, and they're never going to get to the level of iPhone and Samsung. No, because they have that, but they can take tiny pieces of that pie, you know, and so that's sort of what the goal is, right? If you build on a really good brand, you can take a tiny piece of that pie, and then the good thing with this model is you can build lots and lots of sustainable brands, right? So this combines, you know, the dropshipping plus building sort of like it is sort of a D2C AI dropshipping brand, which, you know, and using AI. So naturally I use my Debutify theme, just use pro subscription, use Debutify reviews, maybe Trustoo as well for a review app. There's a number out there, honestly, but that's just what I do. Naturally, I'm going to use my own products. As I said, use Omnisend or Predictemail for fulfillment. Look for ShipBob. I use ShipBob because it has warehouses around the world, so I don't have to touch then the product. I touch the samples, or my team even touch the samples. I'm planning to not touch it and just get them to touch it. They hand it, and I basically am more the investor and help with the marketing high level. And so you use tools like ShipBob. I mean, there's plenty out there, right? I'm not saying it's by far the best. It's got its flaws, but you use something like ShipBob, and away you go. You can then US, you're covered. Canada, all major regions, you are strongly covered. So then you get fast shipping with tracking, and the best thing is that tracking is it's tracking that people know are known brands in that country as well, which adds more authenticity to your brand, which is what people want. With returns as well, that's another thing, but like you can easily handle returns there too. They all have that. But I also want to make sure as well that as you're doing this, don't just focus on making a great brand online and everything in the product around the product. Actually get the product, improve it, right? By understanding the psychology of the customer and what their pain points are, you can understand. I literally got some samples just today. I didn't bring it into the office for my activewear brand. I got some towels and some activewear pants and a I should have taken a picture resistance band, and the resistance band is a more expensive one but really high quality with our branding on it, and the activewear was the wrong sizing, but so we're starting to learn, right? um, my point is that have a commitment to the product quality as well. Part of building the brand is actually getting samples. Find suppliers on Alibaba. I have videos on that in the channel on how to talk to Alibaba suppliers. I speak to them all the time on WhatsApp, or more so my team does now, but like, speaking to them on WhatsApp, and get them. Like those samples I got today were free. I just had to pay $20 shipping or whatever it was, and was able to determine, okay, the product quality is good, but the sizing is off, the branding is off. Let's fix that, and away you go, right? The cool thing is as long as you know marketing, all of this will pretty much work. But again, and remember, doing this away, you still have the flexibility of sort of the dropshipping model, but you are building a sustainable business where instead of it going up and then dying, you're actually just, it might not just go up perpetually, but it won't just die no matter how much competition there is, right? So that's why I prefer this method. I use, again, great customer service. You can use AI agents. Shopify Inbox has that as well with integrated AI. But also, as I build my own live chat, I want to have AI agents so I can just deploy it to all my brands, including SaaS, to make it easy. Offer people refunds, right? One tip is offer people refunds. When you get a return as well, request, you can use tools like AfterShip Returns. You just give them the refund, right? Because most of the time, especially for the products I've been doing, let's say like pajamas, activewear, a lot of the time hygiene is a very important thing, and a lot of people don't want secondhand stuff, especially if you're doing a premium feel. So what are you going to do with it? You're going to probably recycle it. Just give them a full refund and say to them, hey, just have it on us. Most people are like, oh, okay, whatever, and they'll dispose of it. So basically it actually saves you time, saves you money. So the truth that I just wanted to sort of add here is that dropshipping is a great model. I've always said that. It is the people that are using it as a get-rich-quick scheme that is the problem. This circumvents all of this. It takes all the great things from dropshipping, all the great things from D2C, all the great things we know about marketing, and just uses it to your advantage, right? Yes, this requires capital up front. This is not a $100 strategy. This is thousands upon thousands of dollars. So this isn't entirely beginner-friendly, but that's what building a business is, right? You need to have some money in the bank, right? I don't believe in the whole get rich quick bullshit. It is, provide people real value. If you spend the time, provide people value, you can do it. And we're in a very privileged age where we can just easily get this, and I don't have to really touch product at all. I get samples, like I got some the samples down here for the, I shouldn't be standing on it, but like, look at this. This is absolutely amazing. I mean, isn't that just phenomenal? And the buttons are nice, the fabric's nice. And so while my case study had failed, I learned a huge amount. This is a size small, apparently. And but anyway, I plan to brand this and sell it. And this was, I think, sells for about $250 a set. And so, this cost me, I think, $50 to get, so you have to spend money on it, but as a result you learn, right? So that's the cool thing, is you learn each time, and you just keep investing, and you can build multiple brands around that. You can even build multiple pajama brands, and I'm sure that all of them will do well in their own regard. All you need is unique message, unique proposition. People people always love to buy, right? So remember, dropshipping, I wanted to say, is basically a method where, 3PL is dropshipping, right? D2C dropshipping. Not a popular term, but it basically is. Um, D2C. I might add that in. Right, see how it goes with my YouTube video. To give people a premium feel, premium experience, investing properly and caring about your customer. That's all people want when it comes to this. Where uh, e-commerce is only going to grow with AI. It's only going to get easier with the fact of all of this. It'll only get more and more easy, right? And for me, if I'm honest with you, one of the downsides is that um, I don't have a huge amount of time. I've got quite a number of businesses that I'm building, whether they're new or established. So I have to invest quite a bit into my team to help with that, and I sort of more train them. And that's where, I wanted to sort of pass it on to you guys. This is all very, very straightforward stuff once you get the hang of it. So I just sort of want to add that in. I'm a big advocate for, like what you saw in a screenshot, that I prefer to earn less revenue with more stable revenue with higher profits, more because I enjoy my lifestyle like that. I see all the screenshots with huge sales, and that's what I plan to continue to work towards for these other brands. But like with some of them, they might be lower, some might be higher, whatever it looks like, right? At the end of the day. So I just sort of wanted to add that all in as well. So I hope this video has been helpful. If the video has been helpful, be sure to check out my other videos in the channel. Otherwise, thank you very much for your time. Have a lovely day. Take care and goodbye.